Pagan Shooter here. Back from a little bit of a hiatus. I've been sick, and holidays kind of put a little damper on doing any videos. But I did pick up a few new weapons that I'll be reviewing, and this being 2016 New Year, I've planned to try to get onto a regular schedule of doing videos and getting them uploaded. I'm going to try. This is one of my most recent purchases. This is actually a used police turn-in from Bud's Gun Shop. It is the Smith and Wesson M&P 40. This one came, once again, it came used, didn't come in the case, didn't have the extra back straps. This one came actually with a large, which is perfect for me. And it came with 3 magazines, which actually works good. Which actually all of them work good. This one is loaded. I'm going to go ahead and put that off to the side. The weapon itself is totally unloaded. You can see down the chamber and right up through the bottom there. Goodness, this new angle is kind of odd for me. Now I have to say, I have fired this. I'm going to take video of firing it. However, I do have a few things to say about the way it came. It being used, I wasn't expecting much as far as that. It did come with the night sights. If you look that down it, oh goodness, there we go. You'll see the night sights, which actually are still function pretty good. I did have to get in and clean it out to make them function properly. It does come with the 3 magazines. Once again, they're used. They're 15 round magazines, 15 plus 1 for the weapon. And it does come with the takedown tool in the bottom, which is also the piece you have to remove the back strap. I gotta get that out of there. Cannot get it out of there right now. There we go. Does come with the takedown tool, which honestly, if you use the unrecommended method of pulling the trigger, you don't even need to pull that off of there unless you're swapping out the back. So I normally don't pull that off. I just wanted to show you real quick. It does have the trigger safety, just like it does with the factory, which is basically the trigger leans back and unleashes the firing mechanisms and allows it to fire. There is no physical safety on it. So once again, use your head. Has the mounting rail on the front. And once again, 40 cal. You can see the loaded chamber inside. You can look down inside and see if it's loaded. That is the indicator. Reasonable weapon. Oh, by the way, it is ambidextrous. You can switch out the mag release, and you have the slide release. So when I got this, it was filthy. It was bad. It was dirty. It was gummed up. The slide moved, but it wasn't really that functional. I broke it down, cleaned it up. In fact, let me break it down for you while we're talking. Broke it down, cleaned it up, and honestly, there we go. Once I broke it down and cleaned it up, I started getting a little more excited about it because it honestly, when it came in, I was a little disappointed. I thought I had made a big mistake purchasing this. However, after cleaning it, I found that it was actually quite an excellent deal. The slide was, well, and still is kind of dirty inside, but it was really filthy up in the area where the slide catches the frame. That was all gummed up in there. I had to get a brush in there really well. Back with the triggering mechanisms back here and release mechanisms, it was really, really gummed up, so the trigger didn't function very well. In the slide back here, where you have the safety and the firing pin Back here, it was just awful. Down inside the rail catch here, it was really, really gummed up. The barrel and, I mean, all around and the ramp were awful, but you can see it's quite polished now. I mean, I didn't do anything but clean it, and it actually functions really well now. The spring was actually pretty gummy too. It was almost like somebody packed it so it wouldn't go get rusty, and the oil just gummed the whole works up. But it actually, after cleaning it, I found that it functions pretty well. I haven't had any issues with it. I've only put a couple hundred rounds through it, so I haven't really put a lot. There you go, slides back together. And once again, back together. It, pretty clean. And of course the finish has a few wear marks back here. Really, that end on the side here. MSRP on this from Smith and Wesson is $550. You add the night sights to it, which I believe the cheapest night sights I've seen were $120. So I mean, you're already at $670 right there. And then you add another magazine. You know, honestly, the $299 I think was an excellent deal. Granted, it was a risk. They say they all function. However, how much longer you have with them is a question. So, I mean, it's a risk doing it, but I think my risk paid off with this one. The slide action is quite smooth, functions very well. The trigger breaks very hard and smooth at the end. Reset is actually quite a decent weapon. I've had a few Smith and Wessons in the past, and I'm actually quite impressed with this one. This one fits very well in the hand. It feels rather natural in the hand. I like the dovetail to the back here. It fits the webbing of your hand quite well. You can see how it kind of covers and protects. The barrel, if you look in the front there, the barrel is actually quite low in the frame, so the flip from firing is not as pronounced. I've had other 40 cals that when you fired them, it was such a hard snap. Getting back on target was a little bit of a chore. In this case, it's pretty smooth. You still have the snap of the 40, don't get me wrong, but it getting back on target, it's not as pronounced as some other ones I've fired. It's a decent weapon. There's a few things that kind of concern me, like the view through between the slide and the frame, but honestly, it doesn't affect the performance. It does perform smoothly, and it fires very good. The sight picture during the day is a little challenging because of the night sights. I may try to mark around where the night sights are. I don't know if you can see the picture of that, but the night sights are wonderful in lower light because they light up, but honestly, the sight picture daytime isn't that great. However, it's a wonderful weapon. I think I'll get quite a bit of use out of it. Right now, it's one of my home defense weapons. I don't think I'll be carrying it just because of the size and heft of it, but I wanted a full-size weapon. Anyway, we'll see you next time.